what's going on, guys? This is Ronan from GameX, and I'd like to talk to you about the Titanfall 2 tech test that dropped, pun intended, over the last 2 weekends, the 19th to the 21st of August and the 26th to the 28th. So this tech test was Respawn Entertainment, who, if you didn't know, comprises a lot of former developers from Infinity Ward. It was their way of basically stress testing their servers, showing off their game, but mainly allowing large player numbers to interact within the title and find any bugs or glitches that they needed fixed, alongside giving impressions and recommendations on how to balance out pre-existing mechanics and gameplay elements. Now, I'm not a fan of enhanced mobility shooters normally, but I loved this game. Everything really is so buttery smooth, I can't believe it's not butter. The movement feels heavier than the first game, yet more natural. The aiming is stellar. The new abilities are interesting and useful. The grappling hook comes to mind in this respect. And the weapons and the titans feel well thought out and powerful in their current roles. The game just screams consistency. Now, before hearing the rest of the review, I will say now that this will be one to look out for if you're not going to buy the new Call of Duty, Battlefield or Gears game for console. Hell, this may even compete for a top spot amongst the aforementioned. Now, as we all know, guys, the first Titanfall game did not go as well as expected, and this was due to its lack of content. Its mechanics and its gameplay were widely praised, but the content that it lacked at launch, and admirably made up for throughout its life cycle, was sorely missed, and led to it quickly becoming a side game. This time around, with free DLC planned for Titanfall 2, these issues will not be a problem. The community will be kept together, and fan service will be paid, and the game should have plenty to do at launch. Now, onto the bones of the review, because I know you guys want to hear about the finer details. Before we do get into it, bear in mind, this is a pre-alpha tech test. Not a beta, not an alpha, a pre-alpha. Changes will of course be made, as there was a closed alpha tech test back in June, and the open tech test just this July. Pre-alpha, guys, means don't get excited because everything could change. People are doubting that this is the case, but this game releases in October, and it wouldn't be the first pre-alpha that drastically changed itself from the full title release. Now we can move on. So your bread and butter in every single first-person shooter are your weapons. And all of the weapons in Titanfall 2 seem very balanced, whether it's a rifle, an SMG, an LMG, a sniper, shotgun or a pistol. The time to kill is very consistent with one another, allowing for multiple options for pilots in their loadouts. The R201, however, is outshining other weapons slightly, but with some tweaking, some great harmony can be achieved. One problem I had though was with amped weapon cards. Amped weapon cards are Titanfall's answer to kill streaks. They are so powerful in this game. They basically double your primary weapon damage. And if you have a few players on your own team who do badly at the start of a match, and the other team earns their amped weapon cards, be prepared for some chop. Enemy players will knock you down in half the time it normally takes to drop you, and they're much closer to their Titan, which is not a good thing. Games are usually very even, in my opinion, until around the 30 kill mark, in where one team is likely to steamroll the other once they have these amped weapon cards. Combine this with the threat of enemy Titans, and it can get intense. It's not really frustrating at all when this happens, because the game has such great flow. However, it does need to be looked at to make the game more balanced. Now, down to something that I was a little disappointed with. The Titans. The first Titanfall led the charge in this new enhanced mobility era, and other games like Call of Duty and Destiny followed suit. So these mechanics are no longer a selling point for the game. It's the Titans now. It takes too long to get a Titan. Match depending, of course. But this is what will sell the game. And with the times to obtain the main drawing point of the game, the Titans, being so long, we need to let it be known that this needs to be fixed. We want big, massive robots destroying each other like we see in Transformers, Zoids, Megasaur X. Big robots awakens your inner nerd. Respawn. Respawn, my nerd has been sleeping for a long time. He's gotten his Call of Duty sleep. Awaken the inner nerd, and I promise you he'll wake up his friends to the greatness your game could be. During the tech test, however, there was a hotfix that did help players earn their Titans a lot sooner. However, this only took you from earning one Titan per game to maybe 2 or 3. In the first game, every 2 minutes or so you had a Titan. Why was this? Because Titans and pilots were both equally as powerful at taking down Titans. This gave the game flow, allowed pilots to contribute even when not in their own Titans against enemy Titans, and provided the player with a use at all times. Do you kill players and titans or jump into your own robot and hold off spawns or other titans? That's a lot of titan talk, isn't it? We should have started a counter. Next time. Like I said, they need to look at this, but I guess this is the entire point of this pre-alpha tech test, to see what players do and do not like. The titans themselves are weaker than the titans in Titanfall. They are more suited towards killing other titans and holding down objectives, whereas in the first game your titans, like your pilot, was a jack of all trades. It was an extension of yourself. It was basically you with more metal and more firepower. Awesome, right? Respawn, I think we need to return to the first Titanfall. Something that I did enjoy, however, was Titanfall 2's implementation of a new system called networks, where you can join other players based on their needs, their individual requirements. Do they want to play socially or competitive? Do they want to play with mics only or without mics? Do they want just Europeans, Asians, Americans? The list goes on. This is a great feature. However, I noticed that I could not play with a buddy of mine stationed with the Air Force in Texas, even after joining his network and changing my player region to Dallas. If you can't play with your friends, there really is no point in playing, is there? Now I digress, it is a tech test, but we need this to be fixed to make the game more viable in the full release. If you can't play with everyone because, let's face it, the world is more connected than ever, then nobody will want to give this a chance, which would be a complete shame because I think there's so much promise to this game. Again, the version of the game that I played was a tech test, and Respawn Entertainment via their Twitter have been assuring fans that changes will be implemented based on user feedback. So you can probably gather that I really enjoyed this tech test. I think everyone is going to enjoy this game, so go and check it out guys, and be sure to subscribe to GameX for more exciting new game reviews. Thank you.